Hi, this is Gotti Elcon with Selig Film News. We're here with Sarah Ivy from Do You Dream in Color? Sarah, this is such an amazing idea to talk to kids about dealing with not seeing. I mean, 3 of the 4 kids have never seen.
That's correct.
And then I think it's Karina that has seen, but it's in the movie as well. She had basically she lost sight because of eye surgery. Dealing with the fact that they've never seen, and the theme is do you see color? That's ironic in itself, but it's also for those kids. How do you conceptualize what you guys were trying to do here?
Well, I think really the title of the film has become very metaphorical, obviously. Do You Dream in Color can most people who, this is arguable within the blind community, but our kids specifically have said when we interviewed them, and other experts we've worked with, basically people who have never seen color don't know what color is. It's something that's purely visual. But one of the things that the film is really trying to portray is, is life any less fulfilling or interesting or exciting, or are your experiences different than someone with vision? And I think the answer is no, and I think that's what the film really portrays, is that color is more metaphorical, and can you live the same great fulfilling life even if you don't have vision? And the answer is yes. Go see the movie still, please, though. Thank you.
You co-produced and co-directed this with Abigail Fuller. You guys are USC girls. You guys are Trojans.
Fight on.
What was it like? Can you tell me a bit about y'all's connection?
Absolutely.
And then where the concept of let's do this movie?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Abby and I met in film school, and we actually there's some more USC people attached to the film as well. And right after film school, we really decided we should make a film because we put that degree to use, of course. So it was a concept, how does someone without vision experience the world? Because we're so visual, and so it was a hard concept for someone, or for really all of us to grasp. And so what happened was one of the other producers on the film, he got access to one of the blind organizations in Los Angeles. And so we reached out to them and said, hey, we're interested in seeing if there's a film here. We don't know what it is. We don't know the concept, but it's a question that we have. And this organization, we didn't go in with cameras for a long time but we went in and met with a lot of the kids in the youth program. And the people that we really found a connection with and really thought were articulate and had wonderful things to say and share and explain how they experienced life were the teenagers. They're so great, and they're such a fun age, and it's so relatable because everyone gets it. Everyone's been there. Everybody went to prom. Everybody knew had their friend who was in a band or whatnot. Everyone wanted to graduate high school, or at least attempted to. But no, it's these really relatable moments in a person's life that shows, it's not that different whether or not you have vision. It's just how you experience it, and this is how they experience it.
And, we've had figures that, like Stevie Wonder, who've showcased that you can do anything, even if you are blind. But, watching a kid skateboard blind, to me, is still fascinating. What was it like filming that and getting to know these specific kids? That must have been such a fun journey.
It was absolute joy. And actually, they're all grown-ups now and in college. And so the journey's continued because we have relationships with them outside the film. We have phone calls. We hear more about, the boyfriends or the girlfriends. And then, they have grown-up issues now because they're adults. They're young adults still, but they're adults. I'm sorry, can you go back and repeat the question? Because
Sure,
we were talking about the journey of meeting them. Oh,
yeah.
Of skateboarding with Connor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Connor was a lot of fun. We filmed at his local skate park in Burbank, and we wore full padding when we filmed with him in the skate park, and tried not to get hit by boards, whenever they went flying, not necessarily Connor's. So no, it was a lot of fun. And the thing was, he just rolls around, in the park like the other kids, and he kind of knows where everything is in that park. So I don't really know how else to describe the experience. I shoot with skateboarders now as well, and I guess the only thing is you want to make sure you're not in his way when he's coming right at you. But other than that, that's really pretty much, he's got the rest of it covered. So, and he actually calls out when he's going to go. He'll yell to the park, and he's like, I'm going. And everybody kind of clears out to make sure that, he can go where he wants to go.
So cool.
Yeah.
You brought up Burbank.
Yeah.
These kids are from all over. What was the experience of going to different high schools, getting to know different kids, but you guys had to travel yourselves
Yeah.
for the shoot.
Yes.
Was that a cool experience in doing that?
It was an entertaining experience. No, we all packed up our cars, squeezed in like sardines to get the crew from one place to another, and we worked with different blind organizations all over California, and what they did was they helped. We told them kind of what we were looking for. We wanted kids with very definitive goals, or who were really interesting or engaging. And there's people who want to be on film and people who don't. And any person who's made a documentary knows this, because you want someone that wants to engage with you and talk about what's going on. So we kind of explained what we were looking for in terms of the types of kids that would want to be on film. And the organizations were really great. We went to multiple summer camps, met a lot of kids through Enchanted Hills Camp up in Northern California, which is where Lighthouse and Society for the Blind are based, and then Camp Bloomfield, which is through Junior Blind of America. So really, by having entree to these organizations, that's really how we found our kids. And often, if a teen who's blind is more likely than not one of a few or the only individual who is blind in their community, or in their direct circle of contact.
They're adults now, but they were kids when you filmed.
Yes.
What was working with their families about putting them on camera? How were the families to y'all?
These families were amazing. Literally, you couldn't have asked for nicer people. I'm pretty sure we've crashed at Nick's house. I think all of them have fed us, because they look at us and they're like, oh, you guys are kids too. So they would just feed us. No, they were amazing, really amazing. I mean, we spent time without cameras getting to know the kids and their families before even starting to film. And because they got to know us and know what we were about, and because we also had a connection with these organizations that they all, have raised their children in, that's how we really kind of built trust and a relationship that also extends off the screen.
We're screening here at Dallas International Film Festival. What does that mean for you personally?
Well, this is my hometown, so it's been really great. It's nice to be able to have the people who raised you be able to come see you actually make a movie, and your name's on it and all that good stuff. So, it's been a lot of fun for me. I've gotten to come home. I have the best festival host. It's my mom. And yeah. Anyway, but no, it's really been a great experience. And it's been over 10 years since I've lived in Dallas. But what I love coming back and seeing, especially here, is how much Dallas really has to offer the arts. It's so excited about film. The people that have put this together and attend this festival are just so excited about what people are creating and making and finding new voices. And when you live here as a teenager, it's hard. It's easy to not see that or to forget that, maybe. I'm not sure. But it's been great coming back. It's been a really good experience.
They do a wonderful job of programming great documentary shorts as well. Sarah Harris is really passionate about documentaries. And I think documentary filmmakers, in essence, are very passionate, personable people.
Thank you.
It does seem like y'all go the extra step. I mean, you got to, at times interview people, sometimes about tough subjects in their lives. What made you want to be a documentary filmmaker? Was it a film that you saw? Was it, what was it?
I love what documentary does. It brings new topics, new issues, or not new, but maybe issues that need more awareness. It's a venue to get that out, information, or get the word out. So I really love that. I actually produced a graduate documentary and took that part of it when I was in film school. So there was already the seed was planted, and I don't just work in documentary. I actually have worked mostly in TV. I work at the studio, back in LA. So I really have seen both sides of the industry, and I think with documentaries, what you're talking about, it's passion, because you're really just creating something that you find so engaging, and you think you want other people to know about it. You don't put that much time and effort into something you don't care about.
Since you have that great experience of knowing, like, on the non-documentary side, a project ends, it's usually done, it's finished.
Yeah.
Obviously, with this film, you'll know these kids for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
How is that? I mean, can you explain that? That seems like you never do finish it really, and we will hopefully see more as well from what you guys have filmed.
Maybe. We'll see. No, I think that's a really great statement that you made. You do actually have to cut off filming because you do have to say this film is done at a certain point. And that's different for every filmmaker, every documentary filmmaker. I know documentaries have been shot for over 20 years. We really set out to find something we could shoot in a year. It was, give it a time frame. I think we shot for about a year and a half, actually, at the end of the day. And Connor was still like, you can come film. I've got this going on. Do you still want to come film? And we're like, no, we've got your story, Connor. We love it. So I think that part of it, you really do have to, as a filmmaker, as a producer, as a director, say, there is a story here. Here's the story I'm sharing. And kind of say, this is it. The relationships with the kids, they probably lose a little excitement when we're not coming with the cameras anymore, but we do pick up the phone and get to chat with them. And recently we screened at the San Luis Obispo International Film Festival. We won the audience award there. I'll just toss it in for you. But anyway, no, they all the kids got to come out except for Karina, but their families came out. Pretty much the majority of the crew was there at the screening, and we all went out for a great meal, and it was like probably a 30-person family meal. It was one of the best things probably that we've done so far, and that was to kind of wrap it up.
Yeah. Kind of the last question.
Sure.
I love traveling, and there's a particular student that wants to travel, wants to go somewhere.
Yes.
In the last 20 years, there's been a big movement to help blind people be able to get around, and Europe especially has showcased this a lot with, Braille being on certain, like where the sidewalks are. There's Braille there. There's different elements. There's the noise element that's also like the clicking of a light, for instance. I mean that can impact someone coming and traveling and being a part of that. That seems like such a unique thing that people are finally starting to cultivate our surroundings to those that might not be able to see it. What are you hopeful of seeing in the future for helping these kids, future kids, be able to experience life to the fullest?
Well, this year is the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is why you've seen all those changes in the last 20, 25 years. What I think, I'm just going to put it in the context of the film, what the film really talks about. It shows that education is so important, and often these kids are kind of passed on, and they're not held to the same standards as their sighted peers. And what happens with that is they don't get the education they need to succeed as adults, and they can be very successful, productive adults who live relatively, basically, a very normal life. They have houses, families, they have to deal with kids and the dog and whatever. Like, they have basically the same life. And but the thing is to be able to hold a job, you have to have that basic education, and you have to be pushed from the time in the way you would push any child that has sight. Holding them to expectations is the best thing you can do, and not giving them an easy pass because it's unfair to them as they become adults. And the statistic we use in the film is that 70% of adults who are blind are unemployed, and they're on disability. So, and that is the standard number throughout the blind community. So they would like to change that, and I think that's the biggest thing our film can do, is to really advocate for special education.
I mean, that's a big responsibility. It's a positive responsibility.
Okay.
Talk about that you have to be passionate about something to be able to do that.
Well, I think the thing that we're looking to do. Do we need to wrap it up?
No.
Okay. The thing we're really looking to do is start with in the youth organizations, at the blind organizations. We've actually had a number of people reach out asking, how do I get a copy of this film? So it's nice that we already kind of have a base to work from, and then getting it into the hands of educators. Our last screening, we actually had a lot of educators, a lot of them who worked in special education. So they were like, what we talk about in this film doesn't necessarily just apply to students who are blind, but also to students with any other disability or might have some need of special education. So that's. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. Can we cut that one? I'm sorry, that was terrible. Okay, sorry.
Sure,
the responsibility of it. Yeah, I got off on a big tangent. Anyway, no, I think the responsibility is basically that we hold the youth who have a visual impairment to the same standards so that they can become successful adults. I don't think that that's a huge responsibility. I think that's a basic right to education.
Wow. Well, I definitely hope people do see this, and I hope it does make a difference.
Thank you.
I think the fact that it is the 25th anniversary,
Yeah.
and hopefully people will get more awareness, and these kids can do whatever they want. I think that's
Awesome.
a special thing y'all have done. So
Thank you.
thank you for bringing it to the festival, and
Thanks.
I know it's special to be back home. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Sarah.
right. Have a good one.